Now, as authorities in Gauteng gear up for the festive season, what plans have been put in place to safeguard emergency personnel from attacks and robberies? Just last month, EMS workers were attacked by a mob in Atteridgeville, Botswana. A patient inside the ambulance was also killed in that incident. Our senior reporter, Silindelo Masikane, is following that story for us today, joining us now this afternoon on Today. Good afternoon, Silindelo. Thank you very much for your time. So what are some of the issues that are facing the paramedics?
Well, as you've said, in essence, it's attacks, Bradan. They are being attacked when they are responding to calls in various communities. For some times, in fact, those attacks had seen an escalation in the area of Ekurhuleni, but just recently we saw that there was an attack in Atteridgeville in November, where unfortunately the patient that was being attended to, who was attacked by a mob, ultimately succumbed to their injuries. And in fact, the paramedics who were also attending to this patient also had to receive some not only medical attention but psychosocial attention as well, because of course they are still now having to deal with not only the trauma but also having to go back to the very same communities that unfortunately attack them. So at this point, what we saw was the Gauteng Health Department then launching a campaign to educate and to just raise awareness to communities, to say that when you do see EMS services in their communities, they need to protect them because essentially they are there for them. We spoke to a few of these paramedics this morning. This is what they had to say, Bradan.
We want the community to embrace us in terms of what we actually do in saving lives. I think we are the pathway to getting proper medical care, and if they don't protect us, we can't help them. And some of the frustration is that we can't enter some of these zones because of these attacks that are taking place. So our staff are fearing for their lives when they go out there, especially mothers and fathers. So we want community to say, you know exactly when the ambulance is coming there. Let it be an early warning site. Let's go out from our homes. Let's protect them.
You know, it's a bit frustrating and it's heartbreaking to expect them to come to the very same area to provide emergency medical services. Hence, we know we are not safe.
And what about the community, Silindelo? How have they received this campaign?
Well, it seems they are on board. I mean, it is only the beginning of the campaign, but there has been some commitments in terms of ward councillors who say they will continue with this drive to ensure that communities are just aware, and instead of, turning on the very people that are supposed to help them, they ensure that they are safe when they are attending to these call-outs. And of course, what we also understand, Bradan, that between 2021 and 2022, there have been at least 24 attacks on EMS personnel. And so the MEC was today then also outlining the fact that moving forward, not only will panic buttons be put inside these ambulances, but these ambulances will also be traveling with not only security personnel, but sometimes the SAPS as well. Let's just take a listen to one of the community leaders in Atteridgeville.
From now on, we will, as councillors, on my capacity as councillors and other councillors across Atteridgeville, we will try to actually embark on the campaign that get to speak to that particular element, not to continue again or not to happen again in any other area.